ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much once again for joining us on this very interesting podcast. This is Truth Be Told, a place where we tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. My name is Bernard, but they call me Kopoko Master. And of course, I don't do this alone. Yes, for every time I do this alone, just know I just want to get that lone wolf behavior. Yes, not because my guy is not really there around. You understand me? So today, as usual, I have the very beautiful Lizzie without a baby. Yeah, of course, every Lizzie likes to have baby, but she's too big to be a baby.
Every time.
I have to explain it.
No, just introduce her. Let's move on, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, make you look like she'll be simple there, but we were there, no. But let me introduce, the very bumptious Judith. Yes, today is even wearing, baby.
I'm single.
Eh?
I'm single.
Yeah, good advert. Yeah. The commercial department should please consider to raise an invoice because I don't do advert for free. Okay, so this podcast we try to talk about everything and anything, and unless this word, now go to understand one of the most important things for this world now politics. As important as all the subjects they teach us for school, we don't even know. Say at the end of the day, na political science will govern us. Now that will determine our happiness. Now that will determine our joy. Now that will determine our progress. Now that will determine how long we will live, because it is the standard of the living of a country that determines the lifespan of the people. Sure. That is how important politics is. But they made us believe while we're growing up saying science. So make aeroplane. Join one or two wire the work. Now lie science student now they work for politician as SSA to the SSA on nothing. Okay, that is why today we say we'll sit down with somebody who don't dey in the political space for as old as him dey. If you see how you young go, but no let her deceive you. He don't dey political space and he don't talk. Yes, he's a director, by the way. Yeah, movie director. Movie that he don't make some of the best documentaries that you don't see for Nigeria. Now from this guy Table, now they come from. But then again, he's a political player. Yes, he's a political actor. That's what we're bringing here today. Interestingly, he's a member of the People's Democratic Party. Which we are not sure whether it's still a political party now or a group of get-together people of like minds. So then let us bring her. Who ask her? This is PDP. How this PDP day? So ladies and gentlemen, here is Mazi Dickson. Iroebu. Now they're here today. Mazi, you are welcome.
Nami, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You actually got the pronunciation.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, you did well.
I work out to impress myself. Okay, Mazi, how are you now?
I did. We're doing it.
With your first things first. Is PDP still a political party? This question with the answer now. Every Nigerian now they ask you.
Yes, now
because
I understand.
As a people, it will not be nice that we have a party in government where a lot of people not dissatisfied with, but we do not have a strong opposition. Because as far as democracy is concerned, not only with election, we fit stop what is going on now.
True.
But if we do not have an opposition, does it mean now so this country go just dey roll like that?
No, it's not
for
possible.
These people hand?
It's not possible. First off, I like the intro you gave about politics. Politics determines how far we go.
Everything.
Politics determines even whether we could sit here and talk free. Because if we are gagged, then you can't express yourself. So politics is very important. And anybody who says, "Oh, I'm not interested in politics," then you don't understand what politics means. Because how much a cup of garri would be in the market is determined by politicians.
Yes.
So it's important, and I appreciate it. About PDP, yes, I am back to PDP. I left before during the 2023 election because I told the party leadership that it didn't do justice, because what we were pushing for was equity, justice, and fairness. We thought that, okay, even though it's not enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria that there should be rotation of power, right, or zoning, but it is in the Constitution of the party. And being from the southeastern Nigeria, I thought that having supported other zones to emerge since 1999 that it was time for the southeastern Nigeria to be given a chance by the party, and the party failed the southeast, and that I thought was unfair, especially when it was their turn. So we left and supported, of course, the candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, who happens to be, I'm very certain, the candidate of most of us here seated, because most young people embraced the Peter Obi campaign and all of that. So I'm obedient. But while in Labour Party after the election, we saw that Labour Party got a bit, personally, I felt that Labour Party leadership got a bit overwhelmed or got carried away by the support that the P2B membership of the party brought to the table and all of that. They couldn't organize themselves after the party, especially the way that they grabbed it and ran with it. You know, the person in power now grabbed it and ran with it. The party felt disillusioned a bit, and I thought that they didn't organize themselves well. And then I considered, in Nigeria today, which political party sincerely will you say understands Nigeria? I thought PDP is. First off, politics should be about the people. Democracy is about the people. And so if you look at the motto of PDP, it says power to the people. So PDP as a political party is, from my point of view, the only political party that is well structured, organized for the good of Nigeria. That is because the founding fathers of PDP, when it was founded in 1998, considered the issues that Nigeria was faced with at that time. Of course, if you remember, Dr. Alex Ekwueme was the founding father of PDP. Of course, also at the 1995 Abacha conference, it was Alex Ekwueme who proposed the 6 geopolitical zones sharing formula that we have today. Unfortunately, Abacha died before the promulgation of the 1999 Constitution. So the 1999 Constitution did not capture that very proposal of let power rotate around the 6 geopolitical zones. But Alex Ekwueme, being now the founding chairman of PDP, ensured that that was captured in the Constitution of PDP. So PDP, is it alive? Yes, because that's the only political party in Nigeria. APC came into existence 2013, 2014. And of course, what they just came together to do was to grab power. When they got power, they couldn't do anything with it. 9 years now in power, APC, we have seen, has wrecked what PDP built within 6 years of his existence, of his leadership in Nigeria. 16 years of the leadership of PDP in leading Nigeria as a political party. We've seen the difference that 16 years PDP kept the dollar. At the time they handed over in 2015, dollar was less than 200 naira. At the time PDP handed over power in 2015, a bag of gari or a bag of rice was less than 8,000 naira, between 7,000, 8,000 naira. By the time PDP left, fuel was less than 100 naira when PDP handed over to APC and all of that. No, let's not personalize it. Let's discuss the political party because it's about the party. And because, like I said, APC only came to grab power, but they didn't have a plan. All right, and that's why we're in this situation we find ourselves today. So PDP truly is the only political party that means well for Nigeria and is alive. Do we have internal squabbles? Yes, and that has to do with politics. Politics is made up of, like in my language, it's called ndorondoro chichi. Like you pull, I pull. So everybody, because it's about interest. It could be personal interest, it could be collective interest. It could be their interest. So that's why you have that squabble. Yes, that the way the party lost power in 2015, it wasn't an external thing. It was internal because members of the party worked against the party itself. Because if not, based on the zoning thing.
line.
You know, no, it was still the zoning thing, because Jonathan in 2010 came into power because of the death of Yaradua. So, of course, if Yaradua were to be alive, he would have probably had 2 terms. So, when Jonathan came in 2010 and finished the Yaradua's term, 2011, he contested. And of course, at the convention of PDP, they agreed that he was going to do 1 term. And Jonathan signed for it, that he was going to do 1 term. Well, of course, power is sweet. So when he got there, he decided that he was going to renege on that agreement. So he sought for a re-election in 2015. So the Northerners, whose turn it was, to take back the power, now felt no, that this wasn't what the agreement was. So the party the members led by Atiku Abubakar, with about 7 governors, 2 came back and 5 left with Atiku, and they joined the the group of they left as NPDP, that is New PDP. Then Jagaban came with ACN, Buhari came with CPC, the likes of Rocha Sokorocha. Oshomole was a member of ACN. Oshomole had joined ACN. Yeah. So Rocha Sokorocha and co came with some faction of ABGA and all of that, and they formed what we know today as APC, and they grabbed power from PDP. And so PDP is indeed, if you ask me, the only political party that is structured for the good of Nigeria.
Okay, so like we rightly captured that you guys are having currently internal squabble.
And I said all the other parties, all of them.
Yeah, no, currently they have.
All the political parties.
And we know that it is not every injury that warrants stitching. Some injuries, if they call them bruise.
Heals naturally.
This rubber.
Yes.
And you are gone.
Yes.
But some, once you do it, they will stitch you, they will check internal bleeding.
Yes.
What you guys have currently is like the soul of the party is injured.
No.
No, wait, let me finish.
Okay.
Let me finish my Mazi.
All right.
Because just when we thought maybe, okay, like you already mentioned, Labour, okay, just when we thought maybe PDP will consider what happened during the 2023 election when they lost plenty of their, Nigeria, a lot of people do not feel the need to be card-carrying members.
Yes.
But we know you must have a party that you say, okay, because you cannot just go and compete.
There is no independent candidates in Nigeria.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you understand?
You must go by a political party.
We are told by now, you guys will look inward and say, okay, what happened in 2023? Okay, since Peter Obi did not get the ticket to govern Nigeria, how do we come back unanimously to form a stronger force? But this is almost 2 years after the election. We are seeing WIKE holding down one side. Okay, Damagu was supposed to be like the acting guy.
He is the acting chairman.
Thank you. That same guy is suspending Atiku's loyalists like Dino Melai somewhere.
Acting, yeah, he's acting. So he has a duty.
People are saying, insinuating, grapevine, that he's being funded by WIKE. That's supposed to be the same guy that was supposed to confirm Fubara as the senior PDP officer in Rivers, and now Fubara is asking all his guys to campaign to contest under a different
APP.
APP. That is not PDP.
Yes.
Okay. Now the party where you said I want to pursue APC with this.
First off, you see, I have established that all the political parties have internal issues.
Yes.
Including the ruling party. They have their internal squabbles, and that's politics for you, because it's not a religious gathering, it's not a spiritual gathering, it's contestation. So people, yes, even church, exactly. So therefore it's not peculiar to PDP. Therefore, having said that, the aspect of these gladiators in the party, attempting to assert their influence over the party is normal. You mentioned WIKE. WIKE, we cannot forget the key role he played after the 2015 and PDP lost power. The shock of losing power. Party that had been in power for 16 years, from formation to taking over. They didn't contest. PDP was never in the opposition.
It was a transition.
Immediately, democracy came into existence. PDP took over as the ruling party and all of that. So for 16 years, it had sway and all of that. And yeah, we lost in 2015. So the shock in 2015, the party could not, understand where to start from, to begin to do opposition. But WIKE sustained, WIKE engaged, WIKE with his people and all of that was able to hold the party together and all that. So you cannot ignore the role that WIKE has played in PDP. Then in 2022, during the primaries, of course, he sought to get the party ticket. Of course, he went the way he went. First, let me establish that, like I said, we from the southern Nigeria felt, and that should also apply to anybody who is listening out there, to young people who probably will look at playing politics in Nigeria one day, that Nigeria came into existence by northern and southern protectorate. So if it was wrong for anybody to imagine it, that after 8 years of a northerner, Buhari's 8 years, especially a woeful performance of Buhari's government, that another northerner would take over. It was very wrong. That was where the party miscalculated. So if you remember the Asaba Accord, when the 17 southern governors, irrespective of their political affiliation, came together and said that power must come back to southern Nigeria. They took that position clearly. So WIKE's position was clear, ab initio, that it must come to southern Nigeria. But where the politicians played a trick, and where they made a mistake, because they should have just clearly accepted that, okay, coming to southern Nigeria, we had 8 years of a southwesterner. Obasanjo had 8 years, and then Oshibajo was going to conclude 8 years of VP also. So, and then Jonathan had 2 years plus vice presidency and 5 years plus presidency. So naturally, it should go to southeastern Nigeria. That's where it should have gone to. If this is our country, we must have that unwritten code that allows for all of us to have a sense of ownership of the country. If you treat some people as though they are not members, then you cannot have progress. So that is what we stood for. And in 2022, when the primaries was going to hold, Atiku twisted the party. If you ask me, the problem we had in PDP, of course, even in 2015, was Atiku Abubakar. Then in 2022, when we're going to get the if the party had given a southerner the ticket, Jagaban wouldn't have become the candidate of APC. So we wouldn't have had this plague that we're facing now in our country before us. So it was the failure of the party, as I'm twisted by the Atiku group. Atiku shouldn't have had no right, no reason whatsoever to be in the contest in 2022. That is for the primary, for the ticket. So then there was something that the leadership then, IU, did, the chairman then, did that was very wrong. I was at the primaries. Then I was the spokesperson for Pius Anyim for the primaries, because Peter Obi came out late. As far back as 2019, after the court case with Buhari, that is Atiku. I supported Atiku, of course, 2019. After the whole election and court case, after we had gone to Supreme Court and concluded and all that, I wrote an open letter to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and I said, sir, that 2023 is southern Nigeria's turn, particularly southeast, and you have succeeded in bringing up someone that other Nigerians can embrace. That is Peter Obi, who was his vice at that time. So why don't you support him? That was my open letter. I also did an open letter to Peter Obi. I said, Oga, begin to consult. It's the turn of southern Nigeria, particularly southeast. But of course, nobody gives you power. You must go out, negotiate, engage, and reach out and all of that. So they didn't respond to that. And because if Atiku had responded to it, or Peter Obi had responded to it, we would have had from day one, we had enough time to engage and all of that. But because Peter Obi slept, he thought, loyalty to Atiku Abubakar and all of that, so he didn't consider running. And I was determined, personally.
Maybe he wanted to verify.
Oh well, maybe, but it was, it was annoying for me. I was disappointed because at that time I had made up my mind. Because let me tell you, as a filmmaker, one of the things that made me get into politics is understanding that politicians are like actors. But when you have actors on set without a director on set, like we're here now, some could overact, some could underact. So we need creative minds to get involved within the political arena, and that's why I got into politics. It's not just because I don't have a job. I am a filmmaker, well-known one at that. I'm the first winner of African Movie Academy Awards, AMA. I won AMA in 2005. So it's not like I'm jobless. But however, I thought that this is our country, and we shouldn't just sit back and watch these people wreck our country. So that's why I got involved. So for me, I have always stood for, just like I have maintained now, that after 8 years of Southern presidency, I will be in the forefront to champion for power to go back to Northern Nigeria. We must have that understanding.
Okay, so
We must have
one now is for the North.
No. 2027, we still have 4 years. 2027, power should be retained in Southern Nigeria. That's still my campaign. Okay. So why I'm giving this background is so that you understand why possibly I sound the way I sound, or the person I support, why I support who I support. So, like I said, Peter Obi didn't wake up early, and I had made up my mind that I was going to support a Southerner, particularly Southeasterner, to lead Nigeria. So there was nobody, and then Anyim came up. I was one of those that convinced Pius Anyim, former Senate President, to come out for the contestation and all that. But of course, it became dollarized. Atiku came with his dollar, and at party level, that is why every member here, everyone here, should realize that where this thing starts is from the party level. So because if the party throws up anybody after primaries, then we will now choose from whoever they throw up. But if we all get involved, we will be part of the making of that choice, that process of who will come out, you understand, as the candidate of the party. So because it was dollarized, and Anyim, a church's man who didn't see any reason why this shouldn't. Nobody says that you don't sort delegates. You sort delegates, but you don't monetize it in a way that it becomes the highest bidder. Yeah. So Atiku made it that way, and he became the highest bidder. And then so WIKE now got, since WIKE also reverse money is too much money. So he had the money, and so he got involved. That's how he got involved in the race. WIKE didn't have any plan to contest for president. In fact, I can attest here that WIKE was supporting Anyim before Peter Obi came out. Because remember, Peter Obi came out much later. In fact, he had even gone for Atiku's declaration and all that, endorsed Atiku, spoke very highly of him, and then 3 days later, he now went and bought his form. And yes, the dearly beloved elder brother. He's a gentleman. So I felt disappointed because he came out late. By that time, Anyim had gathered momentum and all that. And of course, at the primaries, like I said, the leadership of the party, led by Ayu, allotted 10 minutes to all the presidential aspirants to speak to delegates. So they all spoke to the delegates. And in case this is coming out I'm not a WIKE's fan, especially what he did to us obedience, because I am not happy personally with WIKE, but I would state the truth here. That video that trended where he said, I swear, anybody who emerges here, I will support, that was during their first 10 minutes allotted time, when they gave, that they gave to all the aspirants. That's when he made that statement. But after the allotted 10 minutes, the next thing was for the ballot to commence, for delegates to come and cast their vote. The next thing was, you came up, the chairman came up, that one of the aspirants has something to say. And then allotted another time again to that aspirant, which happens to be Tambuwal now, the former governor of Sokoto State. Now, Tambuwal came up the stage and said, that he's stepping down, and that he's urging his supporters, the delegates, to support Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. That was campaign. That was injustice. Wow. This is WIKE's grounds against the party. This is the truth. So, and then when that happened, you didn't allot another time again to other aspirants to possibly step down for whoever they wanted to step down for.
Yes.
All right. And then after the Tamboa thing finished, we got into. I was sitting with the VIP people, all of them, all the aspirants. I was with WIKE was raging, and there were other aspirants who could have stepped down. The fire shade them and all of that could have stepped down for whoever they wanted to step down for, but they didn't give them that chance. That is the injustice that the leadership, sowed, that got this party to where we are today. So that is WIKE's grouse. That was why they fought to ensure that the chairman was removed. And because Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, I don't know what he was. If I were to be the candidate, haven't twisted the party and gotten the party ticket, and the G5 governors were asking for a sack of the chairman, because that chairman didn't have the moral standing to still hold sway as the leader of the party, haven't shown preference.
Obviously.
You understand, during the contestation, because that was injustice. So when they asked for that, and the candidate, if I were the candidate, I would have sat the chairman down. It's politics. You negotiate. You can offer him something. Say, okay, guy, step down. How can you hold on to the chairman against 5 governors? That was miscalculation. But you see, that's also because the party did injustice to the Southeasterners. So that injustice haunted the party. Now today, the party is being led by the acting chairman, Ambassador Ilya Umar Damagun, who, in my view, has done well so far in stabilizing the party. So those who say, that he's in WIKE's pocket, how? He didn't even support WIKE during the primaries. WIKE has said this publicly and all of that Damagu did not support. Damagu is not his friend. So when people say that Damagu is the acting chairman is in WIKE's pocket and all of that, it's simply because he wouldn't come out and just use a sledgehammer, on, like, they are expecting that those G5 governors, including WIKE, should be suspended or expelled from the party. How? When the party ab initio did injustice to all. So the party does not have the moral standing, therefore, to punish the likes of WIKE and all of them, because all of them did anti-party, including Atiku Abubakar, one way or the other. They all did anti-party one way or the other. So if you want to sanction WIKE, you must sanction including Atiku Abubakar. And by the time you sanction all of them, the party will be left with people who do not have the wherewithal, the experience, the resources, and all of that is required to run the party. Yeah. So the best you can do is manage everybody and see how we can possibly reconcile, the party. WIKE has not left PDP, even though he's working for APC government. But it's normal. But even Obasanjo, when he came, had a unity government. There were members of AMPP at that time that were members of his government and all of that. So there's nothing wrong. After election, the country stands above all parties. It's just that the leaders fail to understand that after election, it is now common you're managing the common patrimony of all Nigerians. So you shouldn't favor your party alone, or your tribe alone, or your religion alone. If that is where the leadership has failed.
Even the PDP governors, they sent names for ministerial.
Exactly, because it's our country now. Because the party PDP is not above Nigeria. Neither is APC above Nigeria. We didn't sell Nigeria to them. They only contested for a period to manage our common patrimony, and it requires that leadership, recognizes that. That's why we are where we are. We are where we are because of the failure of that management. Because if you have a leader who understands that, even though I'm Igbo and I'm president, the Hausa's interest is important, the Yoruba's interest is important, the Ijaws' interest is important, the Idoma's interest is important. All tribes that makes Nigeria, they are all common owners of Nigeria. That is where we are having a challenge. The leaders don't know where to draw the line. That after election, it is now governance. And governance requires that everybody's interest be captured. So PDP is not in disarray. Yes, it's not in chaos. You are expecting opposition to... but we have our own way of playing the opposition. You understand? We have a reference to compare to what APC has done in 9 years. You can refer to our 16 years and compare. All right, you can know what PDP could bring to the table. Are we fixing it? Damagu is doing well. He doesn't have the support of everybody, and you don't even expect to, as a leader, you don't expect that everybody would support you. Okay. Yeah, there are those who don't like him. It's normal.
You don't talk about PDP. Yeah, you try. PDP is supposed to make you official spokesman.
No, they
for now, you don't make us believe. Say no wahala.
But there's no wahala.
Yeah, I know.
There's no wahala.
Anything will come from you now. Just. But wait, since you say
yes,
Damagu don't try make peace, people they say we expunge some people based on grievances, how the effect of the G5 governor cost PDP. What do people believe? Because if you check the gap.
It wasn't just the G5 governors this thing that made PDP lose. It was just that the party did not uphold its constitution. That's why it lost.
We left.
We left. Southeast, we left. Yes, yes.
So now, when would they say una go harmonize, get peace, prepare, create a formidable force against what Nigerians they see now? We'll be like Shege Pro Max.
Renewed Shege.
Renewed Shege, my brother. What happened to Dino Melaye? Because that's one of our best soldiers.
No.
That's one of our best soldiers.
I beg him. See, first off, don't forget that Dino was one of those in 2014, 2015 that wrecked PDP. So I don't know about being a soldier. He was one of those who went out there and demonized, balkanized, demarketed the party in 2015 and then became a senator. But that's by the way now. He came back and received back in the party. Yes, he was one of the spokespersons of the 2023 PDP presidential candidate, that is Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. But you see, there's a level you get to in life. You leave some kind behavior for those coming after you. As a father, for instance, there are things I can't be involved in anymore because I have children who are grown. I have 3 kids who are in the university. So yes, my kids, 3 of them are in the university. So do you know, I haven't become a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. You know, they see the kind of content when they create. Are those things that will you as a Nigerian citizen be proud to elect somebody with such behavior in the public, showing off whatever wealth that you have? Is that what leadership is about? But that's not why the party suspended him. The party leadership took a decision, and I don't want to query what their decision is. If I don't speak for the party, all right, so I cannot state exactly what the reason is why he was suspended. But I believe that the decision that they took to suspend Dino Melaye is also to state clearly that nobody can be said to be above the party. Nobody can be bigger. That the party is supreme. And if we made a mistake and lost power, we can also look back and say, okay, what mistakes did we make? How can we correct it? And that's where we are now. One of the things that the Damagu NWC, that is the National Working Committee, one of the things I understand that the leadership of the PDP now, as led by Damagu, wants to do is correct that mistake of 2023. Because if PDP will come back in 2027, then it has to deliberately correct that mistake made in 2022-23, right? So, and which will be, the Southern Nigeria still has 4 years to go. So the party must be deliberate to say 2027, the candidate must come from Southern Nigeria. That must be well spelled out. And the likes of us who came back to the party is also to stay inside and call out those who are holding the party down. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, we will kill ourselves for you now. We cannot articunize PDP. We cannot, because we have given you the ticket 2 times and the party lost. So, and the man is still positioning himself to want to come out again to contest. For what? Really? So you want to destroy the party? But I also think that the party cannot, even when we zone to Southern Nigeria, PDP cannot do it alone. And that is why we are deliberate to say that the party is, of course, in discussion. I cannot deny that the party is not discussing with the leadership of the Obedient Group, which is Peter Obi. Of course, that links to LP and all of that. Discussion is going on. And I believe that something positive will come out of it. Because truly, we know that in Nigeria today, the only politician who, and this applies to North and South, who can sack Jagaban if we all get together and support him is Peter Obi. That's the truth.
Yes.
That's the truth.
So
I
that
agree
brings
with
us to our
you.
next question. Exactly what I want to ask you. I understand that during the last election, you were obedient.
Fully. I'm still obedient.
And a lot of people were not in labor when they were obedient.
Yes.
A lot.
We even had members of Obedient Group in APC.
Yes, that I know.
Obedience, we're just a group of people who want a
was a
better
movement.
nation, a new Nigeria. That's all.
Wait, define that thing again.
Obedience are a group of Nigerians who want a new Nigeria, a better nation. That's who we are. And it has nothing to do with political power.
Political party.
That's right.
Okay. So
Which is
now,
what's supposed to be.
while you were trying to explain what happened with Dino, Damagu's position and all of that, you say consultations are going on. Yes, because for some young people, face my camera talking. In case you do not know, collaboration is the new competition.
Collabo.
Yes, so instead of fight, if you see anybody wey get wetin go supplement or augment wetin you get, near am o.
Yes.
Collab.
Yes.
Form alliance. There's nothing wrong with
Yes,
that.
so
Form
we have
alliance.
seen it now.
No man is an island.
Yes, so collaboration is the new competition. So this man is saying that consultations are going on.
Yes.
And 2027,
Gang.
God, I beg.
you know say, you don't talk about say they don't give Atiku twice.
Atiku no go come again.
2027.
We dey beg am, oga. We no go insult you.
Pack
We no
up.
go. You are a great man, yes. But please, you don't do. Since 1992,
Hey.
Atiku don dey aspire to be president of Nigeria. You get where they reach, you draw lines. Say, okay, I don't try. Raise other people now. Make them. He has succeeded in. Peter Obi cannot be said to be this nationally popular in Nigeria as a politician today without the contribution of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar.
That's
But
right.
if he supports him in 2027, that would be the greatest political move that Atiku
Alliance.
can make.
Just pass the baton already. Pass it.
That are one now for Atiku as a person.
Yes.
To agree.
Yes.
But you, as a PDP person,
With so much zest.
this party that you know very well that you'll be part of,
Yes.
you supported,
Yes.
you've campaigned, you don't. I think you have been very faithful. The only
I'm a
time
loyal-
you have,
I'm
the
a
only
loyal
time
party
you have
member.
supported somebody outside PDP na disobedient.
Yes.
Yes. Now, this party that you know very well, where WIKE still get stick,
Wike is a Wike.
get better stake.
Yes.
These governors, even though Buruburu wey dey Enugu
Yes.
or Otobo,
Seyi Makinde, Okeze
all of
Ikpeazu.
them, they get stake.
Yes.
And PDP choose Peter Obi to be their flag bearer from your heart.
First off, that is my sincere prayer and expectation that PDP, if he wants to come back to power, must whoop, like wooing a woman. When a guy is wooing a woman, must be deliberate to woo the obedience, not just Peter Obi, the obedience. All right,
True.
Must be deliberate about it, because the obedience, they are the new political group in Nigeria that stirred a political revolution that without violence, they went to the ballot deliberately, spent their money, spent their resources. Did you imagine the kind of
right.
creativity that came out from these people? Nobody paid them. Peter Obi didn't pay
Shishi.
anybody to be part of what we did in 2023. So the party PDP must be deliberate about it. And personally, I've spoken and I'm still speaking to them. I've spoken to I know I have a show on television. It's called Nigeria Right Now. I've had the acting chairman Damagu twice on the show, and personally, I've also had interaction with him, appealing, be deliberate about. Even on my show, the first time I had him on the show, he stated clearly that they want Obi back to PDP. Obi And that message, I went back because Obi is my leader. So I went back to him. I called, I said, Oga, see what they said, oh. He said, Dickson, I'm a trader. I cannot live where they are buying my market and go and set up another place. And so the aspect of, Peter Obi is going to leave LP to join PDP is not on the table. But Obi is open to that alliance because LP cannot do it alone.
Yes.
PDP cannot do it alone. Because the people we are coming against, these guys are principalities. If Jagaban could twist a sitting president, dared him to his face and said, it's my turn, and got there, grabbed it, and even when now our royal fathers came to sit with him to say, this is what Nigerians are saying, there is hunger in the land and that there is cabal ruling the country, he told our royal fathers to their faces that his money brought him to this seat. What arrogance. So how much did we sell Nigeria to Tinubu? How much does Tinubu have to say that his money brought him to this? One individual, his money brought him to the seat of power. Well, that's where we found ourselves. So, can PDP give Peter Obi ticket? Everything is possible in politics. And 24 hours is a lot in politics. So, negotiation is ongoing. I mean, all these things you're seeing, these meetings, pictures that you're seeing and all of that is not for nothing. Politicians know this game, and they know that the guy that can sack or oust Jagaban is Peter Obi. And this party, if the party is deliberate to come back to power, then that alliance must happen, and the candidate cannot be anyone else. If Alhaji Atiku Abubakar comes out again, Jagaban will continue. If Kwankwaso comes out again, Jagaban will continue. Yes. And just name if Saraki come out, Jagaban will continue. The only candidate that can make that change happen is Peter Obi. And I think PDP knows that he owes this country a duty. See, the party cannot sit back and watch a nation that he gave his all for 16 years. PDP built this country democratically. The institutions you're seeing that checkmates the excesses of those in power, all right, is created by PDP, EFCC, all the institutions, ICPC, all of them were created under PDP government. So PDP knows that this country cannot, we can't sit back and watch Nigeria go under, because we're in a terrible state. We are in a dire state in our country. I'm telling you. It is. People are eating ordinary grass in northern Nigeria as food. Grass that animals eat. I'm telling you, no, they are not. There's nothing to eat. People are slaughtered and we don't care. Life is so worthless in our country now. And these leaders are saying to you, tighten your belt. Tighten your belt, okay? You're living large. Imagine a father. Imagine you're a father, right? And you said, you came home and say, oh, my children, see, you gather your family, say, there's hunger. The pockets cannot sustain our eating 3 times a day. The children say, okay, no problem, we understand. So they now reduce it to 2 times or sometimes once. But one day like that, they just peeped through the window. Daddy was coming back. They branched into that posh restaurant where they there, and then enter there with some babes, get there, chop with the best of meal, take champagne, then came back again, say, children, we have to tighten our belt. That's what Jagaban is doing to us. This man, we're seeing him buy private jet, buy yacht for himself, living large, buying fleets of cars, very expensive for himself and the people in government. And they are telling Nigerian people to
buy private jet for your head.
With whose money? Very soon we will also hear that maybe he bought the private jet, the Nigerian private jet, with his money. So it's annoying what is going on. What you couldn't imagine that would happen in Nigeria is going on. And PDP is not comfortable with that. You said, oh, whether WIKE them and the you see, I maintain. WIKE said it now after the election. He said the hero is on record. He said the hero of the 2023 election is Peter Obi. The reason I understand why WIKE is fighting the way he's fighting in PDP is because of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Because you cannot take the other side of Nigeria for granted. You cannot. So if Atiku is going to come again to take the party ticket, WIKE will support Jagaban, and possibly I will support Jagaban if PDP makes that mistake of going
Mazi,
going the other way.
Before we close, if you notice, a country where they boast of over 200 million persons. Anytime we discuss politics now, we tend to be mentioning just one name. If we turn things around, if we make Nigeria better, if we set a standard where every other will believe say if we set up going forward, things feel just the switch they go. Only one name. So I dey ask myself, if for instance now Peter Obi wife call am, say my lord sit down, I don't come on hand for this politics. I don't we dey okay because it's on record say the man get money.
Peter is a billionaire in any currency on earth.
Has money.
So it's on record.
Any currency on earth, Peter Obi is a billionaire. It's not a common.
Wife say that lie, that thing a lie. So what if your wife say, let's focus on our business, let's leave Nigeria alone.
Very good.
And as a man when they listen to a wife, the pastor say more they listen to our wife, even when they give bad advice.
No,
So
no, it's your pastor
me, I know
talk.
they answer them.
That's
I
not
know
what
they answer
pastors
them.
say.
You
They
can
answer them.
let the
Which
woman
church
have
is
her
that?
say, but your way you take
So
the
what I'm
decision.
trying to say is, what if Peter Obi today
Say no contest.
he know they do politics?
Peter Obi no get himself again. No be him get himself. Just like that story wey come out say, oh, Peter Obi is going to go for vice with Atiku. It's a blatant lie. He
That man
knows
will
that he
do it.
doesn't own himself anymore. Peter is aware. You understand? He owes those people, these people that sacrificed everything. Do you know what Nigerians did for Peter Obi? That consciousness that was stirred, right? Peter cannot afford to betray it. He knows he owes his followers a duty to stay committed to this cause. There must be a new Nigeria. It must birth. We have seen it happen in our visual, in our vision and all of it. We have seen it. But we now need to make it come to actualization. Yes. We need to realize that. It's not possible. Where won't go? We go invade. We go invade in house.
You are saying it's
Tell
not
us,
a
oh God, you know they
possibility.
go. There is nothing like that. It cannot
but
go
what
anywhere.
if-
It has been projected.
Because what
There's
you want
no-
to
It has
ask
been
him,
projected.
If
There's
it's
no
not
what
Peter
if
Obi,
in
who
this
else?
matter. This is not filmmaking. What if only exists in the film world? What if actor no die? No, this one.
Another adult you dey talk about like this.
Yes,
A
but no be him
grown
get himself again.
He's Nigerian.
Peter Obi is aware that he doesn't own himself anymore. That's why.
Nigerian, so
That's why like when
now belongs
if you
to us.
follow on Twitter. That time he was always too peaceful. He's a gentleman. In fact, Peter missed his calling. He's supposed to be a reverend father. I'm telling you.
And maybe now make your elder brother go do for that too. Now.
Even his sister, and
Reverend
sister.
Are you
So
serious?
yes.
You
So
know that
he's a gentleman. And if you remember on Twitter when he will come to caution, when they will say that he should caution the obedience, that they are too blah 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 online and all of that. When they will come for him. Okay, hey, stay your lane. Your lane there now just to go and represent us. Just stay there.
mentioned the same
We
thing.
will
Kenneth
do
will
the
come for
attacking. Anybody where they tell you that nonsense and all.
course.
So it's not. This country belongs to all of us. Nobody is more Nigerian than any
Anyone.
Nigerian.
That's right.
Nobody was born to rule, and nobody was born to be ruled. That's a fact that we must establish in our country. This is our country.
This peaceful part where you talk now, it be like saying I make some of your brothers vex.
To my brothers.
Kenneth Okonkwo, yeah.
Balaam,
they
He
Balaam.
wrote an
true.
open
What's his
letter.
name? Balaam. You know Balaam?
Isaac Balami.
Isaac Balami.
Yeah.
They say Baba and that Edo girl. They want Edo girl wey come for Peter Obi well.
Who is
One
that?
Edo girl wey dey shoot skits. Edo babe.
Yes,
Edo.
yes.
That one vex too. They say the guy no dey give
but-
them the ginger wey they need.
Just like when Kenneth own happened.
Yeah.
I called Kenneth. He's my colleague. I've had the privilege of directing him at least not less than 3 times as a director. So I called him, and he told me his own part, and we spoke honestly to ourselves. He asked me, he said, Dickson, you and I know Peter Obi no give us money for this thing. So we staked our integrity, we staked our resources and all of that.
Livelihood.
Yes, everything, we staked it. But one will imagine that this mandate now, he should fight for this mandate. And I asked him a question. I said, okay, how you want make it take do am? He said, for instance, when we were going to court, and all that. You know, we were going to protest. While the INEC was announcing result, before they now shifted. That very day that the announcement started, myself, Dr. Mo, led the protest. We started the protest, led it to ICC. So we were there, and then the Obi will tell us, say, we should calm down. He's a gentleman, you can't change him. So after speaking with Kenneth, I called PO, and we spoke. Before he now replied, Kenneth. I had spoken, yes, I had spoken to him. And what PO told me was, I can't change myself. If you people want me to now become violent, I will never be violent. If you people want me to say, oh, carry arms and let's this, he said, no, that what we are looking for is how to build this nation, not to destroy it and all of that. That's his nature. He also referred to when he contested for Anambra election, Guba election. He said when they took the mandate from him, that he didn't fight anything. He went to court. You know, he was the first governor who changed the election calendar in Nigeria. Yes. He went to court for 3 years plus. Not now where they don't put time limit, where the court case go stay, right? But at that time, 3 years plus, Ngige was in government for 3 years plus. Peter was still in court, up to Supreme Court, fought it and got the mandate. So it's his nature. If his followers want him to be a lot more assertive, well, he has his own way of asserting his leadership. For instance, one of the anger that Kenneth had was the Abure, which myself also, the day I left, I called him to say, Oga, I'm going back to PDP. And this is my reason. That was after Abure, the former chairman, did the convention he did in Anambra, that sham convention that he did in Anambra State. And I felt that was an insult on the person of Peter Obi. So I didn't like it because I knew he wasn't in support of that convention. And Abure went ahead with it. Meaning LP, some part of LP have been infiltrated. You know, Jagaban's approach is money can buy anybody. So he has used money. Yes, he has used money to infiltrate the LP camp and all that. So Kenneth said that Peter should have asserted blah 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 and all that, but Peter stayed back and allowed the process until Abure's tenure constitutionally elapsed. Having elapsed, they took the structure of the party, and that was why they now did what they did in Abia State, and now, yes, with Alex Oti, and then they now gave to Usman, who is now the chairman of the party and all that. So he's a due process person, and you can't change him. So that when that's why, like I said to you, when he comes to Twitter to want to come or talk to his people, and they will say, "Oh, God, stay your lane, just stay your lane there." You understand me? You just maintain your lane. Okay. He is a gentleman, and I think, because you said something about how would they look up to one person to come and solve our problem. Abiola said a long time ago, he said when the head is rotten, the entire body will stink. Nigeria's problem is leadership. It's nothing else is our problem. We have the best of environment, the best of resources for ground, the best of resources for brain. Nigerians are the most intelligent Africans that you can imagine.
That's outside the country.
Even in Nigeria. Well, the resilience with which we survive here. Do you know how Nigerians survive here? If you bring other people come here, they don't feel survive. I'm telling you, the kind of hardship we go through. Look at how expensive the fuel is now. Yet we still the queue.
We still go to work.
And we still the work. We still the survive and all of that. Surviving. So indeed, what we are looking at for is just one leader who will come and understand that this country is blessed and that he can lead by example so that everybody will follow. Now, if Jagaban, for instance, as he grabbed power, had led by example, we wouldn't be here. If he said to Nigerians, tighten your belt, and we're seeing him tighten his own belt, we won't be complaining. We will understand that there's a it's not a no, tightening belt now is figurative.
They're snatching it from behind.
So Peter Obi will lead by example.
Exactly.
You understand me? He will cut down on this over-bloated group of people surrounding the seat of power. We just need one person. And
Just one person.
if we have one person that will show the way, we thought
Others will
Buhari
follow.
could do it. We now saw that Buhari is even the most corrupt president that we have ever had.
Buhari.
You know, if Buhari had you remember the first 3 months of Buhari, Nigerians were aligning. Power was steady. You go so for traffic light, I see people stay for traffic. But when we now saw that, there's no difference in this thing. Everybody went back to, we reverted to where we were. You know, so it's leadership. We just need to get the right leadership. And like I said, just like we're seeing in PDP, why PDP has not imploded is because the leader, as we have today, Damagu, is a calm person, is a diplomat. So people will expect that, hey, go and fight. No. He says to me, Dickson, people want me to suspend everybody, to suspend this, suspend. If I have to suspend WIKE, that means Atiku will be suspended. That means every other person who did one thing or the other, including himself. So there will be no party. And that is what APC wants us to do, so that we'll have a one-party state. That's what the APC, as we have seen under Jagaban, is pushing Nigeria to, for us to have one state, and a one-party state. And that won't work. That's not democracy. Democracy will require that there should be choices for people to make. And I think we have gotten to that stage now where, like I said, APC has had 9 years. Nigerians can tell the difference. We had 16 years of PDP. The difference is clear. Very clear. So PDP is the alternative. 2027. But of course, it cannot do it alone.
All right. I don't hear. And I was trying to see whether we'll get other men in case Peter will be saying no will agree.
Men like me, Deo. Men like me, Deo.
Okay, more than face.
Men like me,
Mazi
Deo. Men, Deo.
Men dey.
You don't mean say men no dey. Men dey.
Men
Who say if they give me Nigeria fix, I don't feel fix her.
So
So the prayer now is saying maybe Peter will be just try day. Una go try pray make the man day because nobody knows tomorrow.
That's right.
Yes, nobody knows tomorrow. So it's been a very interesting one discussing with
very
Mazi
educated.
Dickson.
Yes, because I wanted us to look at this whole thing because as a nation, if you undermine the role of politics, it simply means that you don't even understand what is keeping you.
Yeah.
Yes, even in heaven, administration be there.
Yeah.
That was how we got to know that Judas was in charge of finance. Yes.
Now for earth it happened now.
Yes,
Judas
yes.
matter happened for earth.
For
For heaven there is
That's how we know.
Angel Michael, they in charge of
Michael,
war.
they in charge of,
Angel Gabriel, they in charge of messages. Angel Lucifer, they in charge of praise and worship. So there was
administration.
So
everybody get a role.
Every time where you see anything where they go where. So be interested in politics. Try to see what you can do, you know, to contribute to your quota.
Get your voters
You
card.
there for Abuja now. Election they go on for Edo State. Your parents they there. You have not called them to tell them who to vote for. You should tell them. You know why? Because you are more informed than them. You are more informed than them. It's on you to call your mama say, Mommy, based on who I know, these 3 men, wanna vote for this one. Because if Edo is working, the money where you they send go to get more meaning.
True.
You know. But if it's not working, that's what they're going to call you every day. Before you know, responsibility don't keep breadwinner.
Left home to feed home is calling home.
Let's not conclude this outing without saying to Nigerians, please, your voters card.
Yes.
Sure.
As long as you don't reach 18, go and get your voters card.
That's right.
It takes. You see, if you're a first-time voter, any day you vote, there's this sense of satisfaction, sense of fulfillment that you would have. It's a civic responsibility that you owe your nation. Voting be like prayer. I'm telling you, voting be like prayer. So that if you, for instance, I say to people, I say, person where I no vote for, we grab power. Whatever nonsense policy way they do, you know, go reach me.
Yes.
Because psychologically, spiritually, every policy that is negative will not affect me because I didn't support it. Voting is a civic duty that you owe your nation. Nigerians should take that very serious.
You don't hear that, Mom. Even though some of us don't vote since, like say,
Moko no tire, moko no tire, moko no tire.
No verse. You understand me? There are some things in life we don't get alternative.
Yeah.
And voting in a democratic nation, no get alternative. If this man finish in 4 years, you know if he go chase and come out, we could last. You know if he go use broom, sweep and come out. Now still that same vote
Yeah.
you go take change am. And if you decide not to, you dey prolong your suffering.
Simple.
Do you understand? So this is an appeal and admonishment. So the two of them they come together. So I want to thank you for joining us today, sir.
Thank you,
you.
brother.
Thank you so much, sir.
And
Thank
we
you
also
for
do
your
want to
insight.
see if we can bring Dino.
Dino na your guy, so bring her.
Bring him.
Dino go fit
Make
talk.
him sit down for this same
Make him tell you in mind.
May tell us in mind
uh.
so that we will hear why they suspend her. Thank you so much, Jide.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Lizzie.
Thank
Been a
you.
wonderful-
These
Mr.
are women
Mazi.
in politics.
Bye.
Bye.